Chris, you've been England captain now for 3 complete seasons after this Australia game that's coming up. What would you say to the Chris Robshaw of 2012 when you know everything you know now?
Probably you're going to go through some good times and bad times. That there's going to be a lot of challenges your way. But in those great times as well, you're going to see a lot of the players kind of around you kind of really develop and really take shape and kind of come of age. I think that's the beauty of this kind of group. A lot of guys have kind of come through it together, and it does make you stronger together.
Having captained England 30 times, you're second on the all-time list behind Will Carling and Martin Johnson. That must be something that is a sense of pride as well.
Yeah, it's never actually one of those things you know about till you guys kind of tell us. But yeah, a huge amount of honour. But from my side and the team side, we want to win. There's no point kind of just collecting caps. You want to go out there and actually pick up a bit of silverware, and we are getting closer, I think.
Great sides, seemingly great trophy on your sides, have lots of leaders in them. Talk to me a bit about who are the other leaders in this group and how much you rely on them.
Yeah, very much so. I think a lot of people always assume from the outside it's just kind of management, captain, players, but it is so much more diverse than that. The captain has there's a core group of leaders around him, whether it's off the field or on the field. You have kind of generals on the pitch as well, which help the game kind of flow, whether it's a pack leader, someone doing line out, someone doing defence, attack. All these little things need to kind of be dealt with for the goodness of the side.
You mentioned the good times and the bad times. They're probably epitomised by 2 games against Australia. You've only played them twice, once in 2012 and 2013. What are your memories of that 2012 game when you look back on it now? Yeah,
it was tough. It was my first time playing Australia. It was extremely intense, especially like the breakdown, and they stung us. I think we had a loose kick, and they spinned it the other side of the pitch and scored in the corner. I think they moved the ball. They were extremely smart as well. I think Curtly Beale played 10 that day. Extremely smart team. They find weaknesses. They kept on turning us. Even when they were attacking, they kept on the ball moving and put it behind us. The following year, I think it was our first game in the campaign that year. A huge amount of pressure. The guys really fronted up, got our game going. It was a great day at Twickenham. It was dry conditions, so we got to move the ball around. Got my first international try as well.
Sneaky little finish, wasn't it?
Sneaky, yeah. Unfortunately, it was only, I don't think it was even a metre out. All week we had spoken about putting pressure on our line out and our exits, and someone charged it down and it bounced up to me luckily, and I was able to dot it down. So yeah, that was a great experience as well.
Do you think it's right, or perhaps unfairly, that open sides are judged against each other in the game more than perhaps other positions? It seems that if your open side's had a good game, it means you've had a bad game opposite you. Do you think that's fair?
I think it's always tough if, especially your opposite man gets man of the match or something. But all positions are judged. It's international rugby, and it is a pressured environment, and every player must do their job to the best of their ability for the side to succeed.
Perhaps Michael Hooper was one of the best players on the pitch in 2012. You're one of the best players on the pitch in 2013. You shut him down in the second game in a way that you didn't in the first game. Yeah,
he's an incredible player. Extremely quick, great over the ball. Great link player as well. A lot of it can come down to the 7, but I think it's a back row unit as well. And that's the important thing. It's not down to just one guy.
All the games are set in the context of what's happened before, but how big do you feel this game is given the results you've had this autumn and the World Cup game coming up in 11 months' time?
Yeah, it's huge, isn't it? We probably look back, and I think if we lose this game, we'll consider this a very disappointing autumn series. They're in a kind of probably a similar boat, really. Lost their last 2 games, are going to come out fighting as well. And that's what's great. The crowd love coming to see this game as well. So hopefully it'll live up to the expectation. Of course, it'll always be referred to as markers and this and that. But for us, it's very much about finishing with a win, because otherwise it does hang over you. You always think, what if? It's just a great way to sign off.
What do you think you need to do in the next 9 games before the World Cup?
We always look at aspects of our game and see what can be improved. And that's the important thing. It's about not standing still. Especially being at home, you want to make sure you always play well at home. Be able to solve situations as well on a pitch if things aren't going right, because you may prepare for a game as best as possible and expect something to come at you, but then all of a sudden you get there on the weekend and it's completely different, conditions change, and it's about being able to think on your feet well and play the right game plan. We know that we are lucky to go out there and represent England and play for the country, and it's a huge honour. So we want to go out there and play well and give something back.